Test, test, test. What's going on, yo? What's going on? Let me know how we sounding. Let me know how we sounding. This is obviously not up to date. That's going to be updated tomorrow's live stream. Make sure to go ahead and like the live as you hop up in here. Y'all subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Got some new videos lined up for y'all this week and today. We got a few sets we're looking at, y'all. Gold just broke a level. GU just broke a level. So right now we're looking for, as you can see, the retest right here. And then we can see NAS is pushing to the upside also. So we're going to see what this next 15 looks like. So we're going to be looking for GU, gold, and NAS100. NAS can break above and hold 25,270 as support. Just like we talked about in the Sunday chart analysis, we're going to be looking for buys going to 25,360. Let me try to fix the mic. That sounds a little bit staticky. Give me 1 second. Let me see if this sounds a little bit better. So there are a few sets we're looking at right here. We're looking for a retest here, but it's all good if Gold decides to push because we're going to be looking for possible buys on NAS and GU as well. New 5 minute popped up. So we're about to see what this next 15 looks like. As far as gold is pushing. So we're going to be looking to see if we can maintain 42.44 support. And we can look for buys going to 42.68, or if we can hold 42.68 as support, we're going to be looking for continued buys going to 42.92. And then GU, if we can maintain 32.20 as support, we can look for buys going to 32.45. About to see what this next 15 looks like. GJ, we're not going to mess with because y'all watch the Sunday chart analysis. We enter that reversal territory. So we're going to let GJ do his thing for right now. Again, y'all, those joining the stream, we have not entered any of these trades yet. These are just trade ideas. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join the free signal, free Telegram. Let's see if we can hold and maintain these levels here. New 15 about to pop up. We're about to see how GU and NAS plays out right here. Friday was a little bit of a wonky day. Okay, new 15. NAS just broke this level. Let's see, I'm at GU right here. So I'm liking this G position here. Let's see if NAS can maintain this level. Again, if NAS can maintain 25.270 as support, we could look for buys going to 25.360. Yeah, I'm liking this setup right here. Let me see if we can hold this right here though. As far as news today, we don't have. Well, we might have one thing today. Why does it keep on doing this? Probably because I had that session earlier yesterday. Yeah, so we do have 10 a.m. USD news, so do keep that in mind. Just happened to the music. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm liking this setup right here. Just looking for a retest. Yeah, I'm liking this setup right here. So we're looking to see if we can hold this level of support right here. I like this genius setup though. And then gold's still pushing. Barely missed it. Look at that push right there. So yeah, there's some volume in the markets right now. Let's see if GU is gonna catch up or keep up with the gold and NAS right now. GJ again, we're leaving GJ alone because it's back in our reversal territory. Let me make sure I'm not muted and talking to myself. All right, cool. So we're only going to look for buys we can break above and maintain 205.80 as support, or we're going to look for sells we break below 204.65 and hold that as resistance. We barely missed TP1 on GU. It's going to take some work though, because again, we just broke out that reversal territory. It was in the downtrend, so we're going to need a little bit of volume, as we can see, to break and give us that new higher high. So we're going to see if we can catch that a little bit before the news today. Because the news is either going to help us create that higher high, or it's going to flip us back down below to try to continue or start the downtrend again. NAS and gold is pushing, so we're also going to be looking for a retest on NAS100 right here to see if we can maintain this level of support. New 5-minute just popped up. It's in pushing hard right here. We're going to be looking for a retest again. We're going to be looking to see if we can retest to maintain 25,270 as support. And we're going to be looking for a retest on gold as well. We're in GU currently. We just missed TP1. We got a little bit of work to do on that one. But besides that, we're just waiting for a retest on NAS and gold right here. If y'all was in Friday's live stream, gold ended up playing out in Friday's live stream, as well as GU. We hit TP1, and then we got wicked down and we re-entered. Well, I re-entered at least. And as you can see, that volume came in and did the full move we was looking for. So we're looking for the exact same setup we went for on Friday when it comes to GU. But again, we just need a little bit of volume to break through that point. New 5-minute about to pop up. If y'all got any questions, drop them in the chat. We're looking at any charts, drop in the chat. Going to be dropping the recap of how we did November later on today, probably in the afternoon, mid New York session. But just a quick preview of how we've been performing. All you gotta do is hit that first link in the description, join the free signal, free Telegram. Last week we went 7-0. The week before that we went 6-2. The week before that we went 6-1, and then the first week of November we went 8-0. So we only took 3 losses this month so far. Well, I'm saying so far, but it's a new month. So we only took 3 losses last month. As far as how we ended, October, we went 30-4 against 88% win rate. So that's how we're doing so far this quarter. As far as how we did quarter 3, you go to October 3rd. You can see right here, July went 17-2, August 23-2, September 16-3, ended the quarter 56-7, giving us an 89% win rate. So we're doing pretty good so far. So again, we're gonna be looking to see, we can see a retest right here. We see price retracing. So we're looking to see if we can retrace. I want to see it go a little bit lower. Right, I might try to hold this level here, but I want to see if it can go slightly lower because again, I want to wait for the next 15 to pop up. G barely missed TP1, but we're gonna let that do its thing because, like I said, with GU we do have news at 10 o'clock. So if we don't see any action between now and also during the New York session to give us that volume to break through and give us a new higher high, we're either going to reject and either try the downtrend again or we're going to break through, right? But we're in an uptrend right now, so we're looking for buys. All right, just like on Friday, we got wicked out, and then literally the next 15, the volume shot to the upside, right? So again, we go with the floor price when the volume kicks in. More times than not, it's going to go the direction you're looking for, just like with gold. Right, gold's all wicked and rangy, but then when the volume picked up right in the New York session, we traded the volume going went to the upside. So again, we're looking for a retest on gold and NAS100 right here. We can retest and hold these levels. We're looking for buy setups. GJ is reversing, so we're just going to let GJ reverse. We caught some nice buy setups the last couple weeks on GJ, but as you can see, that thing's retracing. So again, we're just going to let it do its thing for right now. But we do have a lot of news events today. Well, not today, this week. Again, the first and last week of the month are typically the toughest to trade because we have a lot of reports coming out, and basically, like when new months happen, a lot of corrections happen as well. Right, that's why usually the first and last week of the month we usually have a lot of news. Obviously, it's been a little bit different, especially when the past couple, what was it, a couple weeks, couple months, I don't even know. But all the government shutdown stuff has been a little bit different. But as of now, these news events are still standing, and they don't say tentative next to them, so we might be back to business as usual. So G is rejecting that level. We got gold trying to do a retest, and NAS doing a retest. So we're gonna let G do his thing.
Listen up, contractors. We've got a November.
There we go. New 15 about to pop up right now. So we're about to see what this new 15's got in store for us. All right, let's see if we can get a nice retest right here. Yeah, GU and GJ are retracing hard right now. All right, here's the retest. So now I'm about to see if we can maintain these levels of support right here. Almost retracing as well. Yeah, GU and GJ are rejecting hard. Is what it is though. We're going to hold the SRTP gets hit. Yeah, we missed TP1 by like half a pip too on GU. We're about to see how gold and NAS react right here. Again, if NAS can maintain 25,270 as support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 25,370. And then if gold can maintain 44 support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 2466. Golden NAS trying to do a nice retest right here. So yeah, GU, we're in drawdown on GU. So again, like we talked about, whoops, done. Fuck my level up. If we retrace, but can maintain 31.95 as support, we can still see the bullish momentum. But if we break past this point, we're either going to be playing ring around the rosy again, like we were 2 weeks ago, or when the news pops off, either today's news or the news events this week, we're either going to see the volume come in to continue the downtrend or continue the uptrend, right? Same thing with GJ. GJ is reversing right now. So we're probably not going to mess with GJ unless we probably not going to mess with it today unless we see something happen after the news, because it's the same situation with GJ. We're getting sucked back into reversal territory. So again, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get in that. Right, so again, if we get sucked into this reversal territory, we're going to be playing pinball like we were a couple weeks ago. So again, if we can maintain 25.80 as support, we're looking for buys, or if we break below 204.65 and hold as resistance, we're looking for sells. But gold right here just did a nice retest, so we're going to see if we can maintain that level of support. NAS just did a nice retest also. Yeah, I like this right here. And then gold's about to try to do a retest also right here. Just a nice rejection right there. So we got a little bit of work to do with these charts. But same thing with NAS, we need to maintain 25.270 as support, or we're going to get sucked back into the reversal territory. So again, you see a lot of these charts, besides gold, I think gold, we broke out of that reversal territory last week. Yeah, we broke out of the reversal territory last week on gold. But besides gold, a lot of these charts are on the last line of defense before getting sucked back into reversal territory. Yeah, we might get wicked out right there. Yeah, this week's going to definitely be interesting. Yeah, we got wicked out of GU. It's all good though. So we're looking to see if we can maintain the level of support right there. The only support resistance is why. I don't just use support or resistance. So I got a few trade breakdowns dropping this week, but I also drop at least 2 to 3 per week. So I dropped a couple last week as well. I also dropped a couple in the chat. So I don't just use support and resistance, but for my entries, I use support and resistance, right? So watch my trade breakdown. So after this live stream's over, check out the trade breakdowns so you can understand the full process, right? Because this is just the end result, right? This is me right now looking for setups and my confirmations, right? That's what I'm doing right now, looking for my setups and confirmations. So like right now, I'm looking to see if NAS can maintain this level of support and gold can maintain this level of support. And are you going to enter buys of support levels? Right, like obviously this doesn't look like it's a support level because I updated my levels. These were levels from last week, but if you was in the live stream yesterday, or of course you was in Advanced Play Signal on Friday, you know exactly what took place right there, right? So let me see if I'll get a screenshot. Yeah, I do actually. No, I don't. I don't have a screenshot of this one, but I only use support resistance for the end results, right? So after I do everything I talk about in the trade breakdowns, after I mark off my key price levels, now I'm just waiting for price to see if it can hold my level of support if I'm looking for buys, and to hold my level as resistance if I'm looking for sells, right? So again, these levels are off because these were levels from last week. But if we look at like GU, for example, right, enter that level off a support level, enter this level of resistance, turn to support. Again, these levels are off because it's a new week. But if we go to GJ, you see it a lot clearer as well. Enter buys of support, 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 buys of support. But no, it's not just you just hop onto the smaller time frame and or you just mark off support resistance levels. It's a method to the madness. So again, make sure to watch the trade breakdowns. Got some new ones lined up for y'all this week as well, as I got a new one dropping for y'all today. So we barely had our stop loss missed. So we had TP1 barely missed, and then we just had our stop loss barely missed. We go look at gold. Let's see if gold's maintaining this level of support right here. Let's go take a look. Yeah, so far it's holding this level of support, and then NAS is holding this level of support as well. Again, we do have yeah, I got you on the screen, right. We do have what you call it, news today at 10 a.m. So make sure to keep that in mind. If you do not understand how to trade news days, members and students just watch the past news recordings in the channel. If you're in Playmaker University or Advanced Play Room, link in the bio for that, link in the description, or just go to the How to Trade News playlist on YouTube and check out those videos. So again, like we don't see any action between now and 6 a.m., especially when it comes to really all these charts, because like we talked about a few times during this live stream, as well as the Sunday chart analysis, a lot of these charts are in reversal territory as well as the first week of the month. So the news this week is going to be very important to help push volume into the markets to get out of these sticky situations we're in. So that's the main reason why I'm kind of chilling right now as well. Also because, again, we only lost 3 trades last month, so we're up for the quarter up from last month. We're up from last week. So, I'm not really tripping too much about that. But we're about to see what this next 15 looks like. GJ held the lowest support. So, again, we're only going to look for buys on GJ. We could break above this level or break below this level. And as far as why enter exit trades off support resistance levels, because, again, it's not a coincidence that when price hit this level, it treated as support, broke below, treated as resistance. When price reacted to this level, it halted and pushed to the upside. It's not a coincidence that when the volume picked up, it halted right here, just like right here, right? It's not a coincidence that it rejected this level, came back down here, held this level of support, and shot up right here, right? And then rejected this level just like how it did last night twice. That's why we enter and exit off these levels, because when you go with the flow of price as well as enter and exit off these levels, you have all the momentum going in your favor, right? So all you're waiting for now is volume, right? So again, when you go with the flow of price, you enter and exit off these levels, you literally have everything possible in your favor to work out for you. That's why our win rate is so high, and we win way more than we lose, right? Because again, when you go with the flow of price, by default, you're going to win 60 to 90% of your trades. You see what I'm saying? Just like right here, right? You see how price pushed here, rejected, reversed at this level, same thing here. Push began here, halted, came back to this level. All right, so let's see what this next 15 looks like. Y'all got any questions? Drop in the chat. When we're looking at any charts, drop in the chat. NAS is teasing us as well. We barely just missed TP1 on NAS as well. So we might be getting, I don't want to say that, but we might be getting teased a little bit until New York session, but it's all good. I got a lot of new videos lined up for y'all today. Not just today, but this week in general. So make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok if you're not following me already. I'll see you scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. Instagram, playmaker_way. TikTok, _playmaker_way. Playmaker_way. All right. My bad, y'all. Typing some stuff up. Y'all know I can't talk and type. Let's see this next 15 looks like. And while we're chilling, y'all, again, don't just be waiting for me to say, oh, yeah, I like this, I don't like this. Pay attention to the candlesticks, how prices are reacting to these levels. Pay attention to what I'm talking about. And again, if y'all got questions, ask questions. That's what these live streams are for. All right, new 15 just popped up. So let's see how gold reacts. So again, we're looking to see if gold can maintain a 44 support. If not, we can see price retrace. And as long as it maintains 24.16 as support, we're still going to look for buys. And this is why I was waiting for the retest, because more times than not, 9 times out of 10, price is always going to retrace before it does a big move, right? So there's no reason to FOMO or jump into a setup or anything like that. Imagine we would have FOMO and try to jump in on this at 3 a.m. We would have had a terrible entry. We'd be in so much drawdown right now. And then now, when we're finally at this level waiting for the retest, we'd be at potential risk of getting whipped out for no reason. We might have had something on that. But yeah, but as far as these charts, I feel like they're going to be chilling until the news pops off. We're still going to be on, though, for a little bit longer. But the most important thing with trading is, again, trading is about going for high probability, high quality setups. You got to think every scenario through, not just what you want to see happen or what can happen, but you want to think and look at every scenario, and then also know when to halt, right? Because again, you want to think of, okay, let's say you have $1K, $100, $50K account, $100K account. You don't want to think, okay, I have $1K or $5K before my account's down. No, you want to think, okay, I got 3% today, 5% today, whatever today, to risk. So if I only got 3% to risk, or 2 or 3 trades I can take max today, I need to be picky with these trades, because once I use all those trades for the day, you're done. Or if you're not done, that's how you end up blowing your account in 1 day, 3 days from over trading. Again, a lot of the times it's not simply the strategy why you're fucking up. It's the over trading and the not sticking to the strategy. You know? Yeah, we're TV on NAS, but again, we might be just chilling until New York session. Again, y'all, all these charts are like either in reversal territory or teetering towards reversal territory. Right, and then there goes gold going timber, right? So we're gonna bring this alert down here, just in case it retraces for it. And then GU's retracing as well. So again, GU is going to retrace down to 31.95 or push back up. As long as we go hold 31.95 support, we're still bullish. But if we break past that point, like I said, we're going to be back in reversal territory and or having the downtrend come back into play. Because again, prior to 2 weeks ago, we was going for sales. We was going for sales all October and half of September. Right? It wasn't until a couple weeks ago that price started ranging. Trying to see the downtrend, then we had the reversal, which is why we ended up going for buys on Friday. But as you can see, in the past 3 days, including today, we've been struggling to break past 32.45. All right, so we're going to need some volume to break through that level. We have volume coming on Friday, but as you can see, even with the volume on Friday, price failed to maintain a level as support. And then when we broke that level initially on Wednesday, we needed a retest or break past to the next level above it. NAS keeps retesting this level again. We just need some volume. That's all we're looking for. So again, if you don't see any action between now and 6 a.m., do not be too shocked or surprised. If it waits until New York Open, again, we do have news at 10 a.m. today. So make sure to keep that in mind. And I believe in the ICT concept. I'm just gonna keep it frank. Most of the people that follow that shit are people that are fresh out of high school or in college, and they're in study mode because school and college they force you to study, memorize this, memorize that, memorize this, memorize that. A lot of people are overcomplicating trading. You do not need to memorize every candlestick naming pattern or collecting Pokemon or Digimon cards. Trading is very simple. I don't know half those patterns or candlesticks people trade with. All I care about is what direction price is going. Are we in the uptrend? Are we in the downtrend? Are we consolidating? And then from there, what's the best move to go for buys or sells? A lot of these concepts is what causes a lot of fake outs, liquidity grabs, because ICT teaches you to chase and react to price. What I teach y'all is to follow the flow of price, right? Now, obviously, it's Monday, so it's not really a good example. But if you go to the live streams last week, or again, just look at our track record from this year in general, I'm able to predict what news does more times than not. I'm able to, like, if you look at the recap of last week, the reason why I purposely link it to the Sunday chart analysis is because just like this week or last night, at the beginning of the week, I dropped the Sunday chart analysis going over not just what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but what we see price doing throughout the entire week. But a lot of times I'm also able to predict what price is going to do before news events pop off. If you watch the London session live stream, we're able to predict what price is going to do not just London session, but throughout the entire day. And the reason we're able to do that is because you're following the flow of price, right? Because you're always reacting to price. You're always going to be late to the party, right? But not only are you going to always be late to the party, but again, when you chase price, just because price is going down at one moment or going up at one moment doesn't mean
Dreaming
that
of
is the
bigger
direction
roller
price is going to be
coasters
going
and bigger
for the
hair
next
in
hour, let
Hollywood?
alone the day or the week. You get what I'm saying? So I don't really like none of that stuff because, especially you don't know what you're doing, it's going to confuse you, especially new traders, because it's a bunch of shit that you got to memorize for no fucking reason. Right? Trading is very, 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 very simple. You don't got to worry about the bears and bulls. You don't got to worry about all this other shit people talk about. All you got to worry about is the direction price is going, waiting for your setup, not over leveraging, and not letting winners turn to losers. That's all trading is about. Trading is just simply about going for high probability, high quality setups. So we got GU pushing back up. Let's see if gold is going to push back up for us. As 100 still chilling at this level right here. Right, like, so I can show a few examples too, right? So again, with ICT and all these other stuff be showing you, like, as soon as you see a juicy red or green candlestick, y'all calling that a gap or all this other shit, right? But then what did I tell you when you see a juicy red candlestick? Oh, go for sells, right? So what would happen if you would have went for sells here instead of on the floor price on the bigger time frame going for buys? You would have got fucked up, right? And this is where they talk about the fake out liquidity grabs. But again, the reason why you're getting faked out and liquidity is getting grabbed is because you're chasing price instead of following the flow of price. If you would have tried to go for a sell here or for it to fill up the gap and go for a sell here, you would have got fucked up and whipped out both times. And it's because, again, it's not because the mythical bears and bulls magically came out of nowhere. It's because you're chasing price. Just like right here, you would have saw this juicy candlestick. You would have waited for price to fill up, right? They say fill up the gap, right? And then once price filled up the gap, you would have went for a sell here. You would have got fucked up, right? But once price broke this level, you try to go for sell here, you would have got fucked up. So again, reacting to price is not what you want to do. If you watch any of my live streams, even this live stream right now, do you see me chasing price or making decisions based on the current candlestick? No, I got my buy ideas or my sell ideas to the right, and I'm simply waiting for price to come to me, right? And then once price comes to me, what do? I wait for it to meet my confirmation or not meet my confirmations. If it meets my confirmation, I take the setup. If it doesn't meet my confirmation, I don't take the setup, right? Very, 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 very simple. Right? Just like on the live stream on Friday. We took this gold trade live on Friday, right? Even when the shit was glitching out, what do? It started working again. And watch Friday's live stream. If it wasn't in Friday's live stream. And then what I said, damn, the charts were just acting up. But this buy step is valid, so I'm going to go for buys, right? What would happen if when price retraced, you try to go for sells, you would have got fucked up, right? But the reason why I went for buys here instead of sells is because, again, on the bigger time frames, we have bullish momentum, right? Just like when I drop the Sunday chart analysis, the reason why I drop the Sunday chart analysis on the daily time frame is because I'm showing you the market structure for the week and what we're looking for overall. Again, the smaller time frames only show you what price is doing at that exact moment. The bigger time frames show you the bias and explain what price is currently doing and why it's currently doing it. You get what I'm saying? So I'd rather see what this next hour or 5 minute looks like. Gold's still chilling right here. So we're gonna see if we can break back above. NAS is still chilling here. Hit TV1. But as you can see, just constantly just retesting his levels. So again, we're just waiting for volume right now. And again, we're not touching GJ until it does 102. How about NQ? Is that retest complete? So again, the easiest way to tell if price is holding level support is how you just saw price react, right? So again, everything I do is for a reason. So prior to this candlestick, right, price showed that it was holding the level of support, right? So that's all a retest is to see if price is maintaining the level of support. Now, from that point, That's why you want to go with the flow of price, because not only does it need to hold a level at support, right? Because holding level of support is just one part, but we need volume to then take us to that next level, right? So price here broke and held the level at support, but as you can see, then the volume died down after we broke past these levels here, and price rejected. But then we can see right here, price broke back above and held this level at support. And then, well, we had a gap, but anyways, this is why you go with the flow of price. Price proceeded to push up, right? So it's not just and you hold the level of support. That's just one part of it, but it did hold the level of support. So again, it's not. That's why I said, like, a lot of stuff. School and college be fucking our brains up when it comes to this trading shit, right? It's not just simply A, B, C, or D all the time when it comes to trading. There's some things that are simply A, B, C, or D, but a lot of stuff is situational, right? So you look at, for example, the trades I took last week, or you watch any of the London session lives, right? Or better yet, I could just do this, right? Everything is situational, so that's why it's important to understand how the charts work, and you have to just get your reps in and hours in on the charts. That's the only way you're going to really understand how anything works, right? Like, I can teach you how to drive stick shift, but until you get behind the car and start driving stick shift, you're not going to fully understand how that shit works. And the more you drive stick shift, the more you're going to understand how the shit works. You get what I'm saying? So these are old signals. I repeat, these are old signals. Nobody take these signals, okay? Nobody take these signals. I don't need nobody in my DM talking about, way you showed these signals, blah, 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 blah. So we see gold pushing back up. Again, this is a nice retest. Gold retraced, closed here, new 15 popped up. Now we see price pushing up, right? So this is a good retest, right? So again, this is why I don't breakout trade, right? Because what would have happened if we would have broke out traded here, broke out traded here, broke out traded here? We would have got fucked up all those times, right? But now, if price can not only hold a level of support, break a level of support, but also hold it, we have a higher likelihood of it going our direction, going in our favor. You see what I'm saying? But let me show you this really quick. Again, these are old setups. We're not in the 17th of November, but you can see here this day, I call this trade at 8:36 a.m., right? But we go to the day prior or the week prior, you can see I took this trade at 4 a.m. on the 14th, took this trade at 3:37. We go to the day before that, I took this trade at 3:16, right? So did I do anything different on the 13th versus the 14th, where I took a trade 16 minutes into London session, but the following day I didn't take a trade until 37 minutes into London session? No, I didn't do anything different. Again, it's just the market conditions, right? Same thing here. We go to this day. You see, I took this trade 3:32. So did I do anything different this day to take a trade 32 minutes in? And then the day prior to that, I took a trade 16 minutes in? No. Again, it's just the market structure, market conditions. That's why we're looking at the charts before we take a setup, right? I tell the member students all the time, we make bread based on the charts, we lose bread based on the charts, we enter and exit trades based off the charts. So that's why it's important to understand how the markets work, but also wait for your confirmations. And like I said, the more you're on the charts, the more you show up to live stream, ask questions, the more you watch videos, the more things are going to start to click and make sense. Because again, I didn't just pop out the womb and know how to mark off these levels, know how to trade. This took reps. It took reps and time. I've been trading properly since 2022, but prior to 2022, 2020, middle 2020, 2021, I was struggling, right? But it was because I was learning from my mistakes and improving that I got to this point. You know what I'm saying? But again, we need volume. Just like right now, we're holding the level of support, or we held the level of support for like 20 minutes, but because we had a lack of volume, we only hit TP1, and now we're kind of rejecting, just like with GU, right? So again, that's why I said at the beginning of the live stream, multiple times in the live, that a lot of these charts we need volume, right? Rewind the live stream, said at least 4 times in the live stream. A lot of these charts are approaching or in reversal territory, and we need volume to continue these trends or start new trends, right? So again, that's what we can see on this long time. Right? That's why GJ is rejecting, because you can see here, price had low volume, was struggling to break this next level, which caused reversal, right? Same thing with GU, right? We can see here, GU broke this level, but you can see with very small candlesticks, you see price struggle to maintain this level of support, right? That keeps on rejecting. Right, same thing with gold's the only exception. Gold broke out of that shit last week. But same thing with NAS100, right? Again, this is why price broke this level. You can see the low volume on these candlesticks, right? And again, that makes a lot more sense when we go into the bigger time frame. You see what I'm saying? So again, this is why you want to figure out the market structure and follow the floor price on the bigger time frames, because that's make more sense. And then you hop onto these small time frames for your confirmations and your interest and stuff. Right. And if you did not watch the Sunday chart analysis, make sure to watch the Sunday chart analysis. If it's Monday and Tuesday, there's definitely no excuse to not watch the Sunday chart analysis. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, definitely no excuse to not watch the Sunday chart analysis. And I promise you, I am not making videos post because I'm bored and for takes and pictures. Every post, every video is for a reason. That's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Telegram channels. Every post message is for a reason and to help y'all out. Right? That's why when I do the recap of the weeks, I always say, and some people just go, "Oh, you just copy paste this shit." No, that's why I reply to the Sunday chart now, because I'm trying to get y'all folks to watch the shit, so y'all can be like, "Oh, damn, Wade isn't just doing dumb shit for no reason." Then Wade did post that video to help motherfuckers out, because if you look at last week's Sunday chart analysis, literally not this week. Last week's Sunday chart analysis, literally majority of the charts when it's projected, and I dropped it to 9:54 p.m. Right? You look at the week prior Sunday chart analysis, things are going as projected, right? Gold, I talked about gold buys last night. What did gold do last night? Retested its level. You could have got this up last night. Then what is gold doing right now? It's pushing up right now, right? We talked about this at the beginning of the live stream and last night, right? So again, I don't got a crystal ball looking at NAS100. I don't got a crystal ball. So how am I able to know the exact levels or the best levels to enter and exit off of, as well as to be able to drop at the beginning of the week, hours for news events, hours for market open, saying what I can see price down. So again, don't chase price, with all the flow of price. So make sure to catch up to the videos and the playlist on YouTube. Don't just follow me on Instagram and TikTok. That's the scroll bottom of the screen and watch the post by post. Definitely tune into the live streams on YouTube and TikTok. Don't just tune into the live streams. Don't just wait for you like I'm trade, not a trade. Actually understand what we're doing and ask questions like y'all asking questions right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we got a little bit of action going on right now. We're right back at TP1 on NAS. GU's back at our entry. So we're about to see if we can hit TP1 and like keys this time. Only one that's in no man's land is GJ currently. Make sure to like the live as well, y'all. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We're almost at we're almost at 4,300 subscribers. We can get to that easily. Got a new video dropping for y'all today as well, so make sure to have y'all know these on. Shout out to those that subscribed. I see some new subscribers. Shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to the old subscribers. And do y'all's daily stretches, man. I've been doing my daily stretch. I gotta up my routine, but especially y'all be at a desk or some shit. Do y'all's, even y'all aren't at desk. Do y'all's daily stretches, man. Do y'all's daily stretches. Let me catch it to the chat right here. And I'm tripping. My bad, futures traders. I'm tripping. My bad, futures traders. I'm tripping. I forgot to post the signals for the futures traders. I am tripping. My bad, y'all. It's no longer Friday. Y'all shit should be working, right? Let me check. That's my bad, futures traders. But hopefully y'all picking up what we're putting down. Well, let me call the signal out for it, because I do have it marked off right here. So for the futures trader, I sound muffled, I think. So again, if I sound a little bit fucked up, let me know. I'll fix my mic. All right, sound a little bit better. All right, so let me draw the signal out for the futures traders. My bad, y'all. My bad. I'm over here. I got sidetracked. I'm gonna cut it to the chat in a second. Let's say so we're back at TP1 on NAS100. So I'm about to call the signal for the futures traders really quick. That's my bad, y'all. Again, if y'all got any questions, drop in the chat. When we look at your charts, drop in the chat. Give me 1 second, bro. Because I don't know about y'all folks, but I can't talk and type. I end up talking. See, I'm doing it right now. I end up talking while I'm typing what I'm talking. So give me 1 second. I got y'all. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Now, I was talking to one of the members last night. Shout out to you, Angry, my boy, but I don't know why futures in the indexes for the forex side is so off. It's just weird as hell. Like, y'all look at the two, it should be off. Like I don't know why it's not. But give me 1 second, man. All right, new 15 just popped up. No, new 5 minutes just popped up. So we're almost at TP2. Let me mark out TP2 so I can see what TP2 is looking like. Looking at G, we're at our entry still. You have to just hold the SR, TP gets hit like usual. Again, y'all, got any questions, drop in the chat. When we can be charged, drop in the chat. All right, cool. All right, so both futures and index should be up right now. Let's see. But again, this going back to 6LW, right? So again, this was the retest. We just needed a little bit more volume because there's no difference between this one and this one besides just volume pushing up, right? So again, it's really that simple. But the retest is one part of it, right? Because price retested here, but again, we didn't have the volume going in our favor. That's why price rejected to the downside. But this is also why we trade at certain times to avoid certain shit like that as well. But that's a whole nother conversation. What's going on? Yeah, as I see up in here. Yeah, the Sunday chart analysis is always spot on. Let them know. I will probably start doing the futures in it as well. I just do it to make it a little bit shorter, but I also got to be fair to the futures trade as well because not everybody's on the forex side. But as you know, behind the scenes, we do the New York price watches, futures, and forex. But Sunday chart analysis just build the forex side. But with the NQ for the futures traders, we're looking to see if we can maintain 25,300 in support. If so, we can look for live upside. Right, similar situation. Like I said, the futures be a little bit delayed or laggy compared to forex for some reason, but we're gonna let the futures won't do what the futures won't do. As far as forex side and profit, and like always, just hold the SL or TP gets hit. Especially if you didn't hit a TP yet, you might as well just suck it up because drawdowns are part of the game. I know futures are a little bit different because futures and indexes don't really have that spread, but even so, when you enter a trade, it's very rare that it's not going to retrace a little bit or retest when you enter that, right? So it's going to be in a little bit of the red when you first enter a trade. So you might as well get over that, right? Again, before you take a setup, you should know how much you're risking. You should know how much you're going to be making, right? That way, you're not staring at your P&L, stressing yourself out because you should already be prepared and know what you're potentially risking and what you're going to be potentially making. You get what I'm saying? So again, we just need some volume. We do have news at 10 a.m., so keep that in mind. Why does it keep on doing this? I don't know why it keeps on doing that. I went to that date last night, probably because I didn't refresh my website. But it's all good. It is all good. Got a new 15 about to pop up. All right, y'all. We're gonna let the charts do their thing. Members, you already know. We're gonna look out for the New York price watch list in a few hours. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. You see it scrolling at the bottom of y'all screens. We should be going live later on today on TikTok around the same time like usual, around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock ish. Let me just double check my schedule really quick. Good at that time. Let me just double check real quick. Members, it's a new week, so those that signed up for one-on-one sessions, make sure to schedule your session for this week. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody's been alive since the beginning. Shout out to everybody's been alive since y'all joined. Make sure you hit that first link in the description. Join the free student for Telegram. The intro is learning how to identify these levels, my student service, my mentorship programs. Y'all already know what to do. Click those links in the description. We're gonna let NAS and all these arbitrars do their thing. Again, we got news at 10 a.m. Keep that in mind. And yeah, we'll be back at the same time tomorrow, London session 3 a.m. EST. So yeah, we're gonna be just letting these trades do their thing right now.